Hello students, this is JC Benoy, your SST teacher. I hope you all are all doing well and are taking care of yourselves. Be positive, be joyful, be happy and keep smiling. Now today I am going to continue with revision of chapter 15. But before that, this image that I have put up, do you remember this? Do you recognize this image? I'm sure you must have all seen this image, correct? Which image is this? This is the image of the Red Fort. So today we are going to continue with the revision of World Heritage Sites in India, which is the 15th lesson from our grade 5 SST textbook. Okay, so let's start. So now when you look at the Red Fort, which color is it? It looks red, correct? So now Red Fort is also known as the Lal Killa, and it was constructed by Emperor Shah Jahan. He was the Mughal emperor. Okay, so who constructed the Red Fort? It was constructed by the Mughal emperor Shah Jahan, and he built this Red Fort when he established his capital city, and he named it as Shah Jahanabad, and now we know it as Delhi. Okay, so when did Shah Jahan construct this Red Fort? He constructed this in the 17th century, and he constructed it because he was establishing his own capital city, and he named it as Shah Jahanabad, which is now known as Delhi. Okay, now the Red Fort is a national monument, and if you look at it, you will remember that the Prime Minister of our country addresses the country from here every 15th August, correct? It is our Independence Day. So the Prime Minister of our country on every National Independence Day hoists the national flag in front of the Red Fort and then addresses the country from there. So when I say addresses the country, it means that the Prime Minister talks to the people of our country from there. So he gives a speech from there, he or she, whichever Prime Minister. Okay. So this happens every year. So these are the important points of Red Fort. Now another important aspect of the Red Fort is that it is made of red sandstone. Okay, what is it made of? It is made of red sandstone, and that is why that beautiful red color that you can see of the Red Fort. Okay, now this Red Fort is a huge complex with several royal buildings within the fort. Okay, why is it called a complex? It's called a complex because there are many other buildings within the Red Fort. Okay, and which are these buildings? Let's revise it quickly. So today's video is going to be really easy and very short. Okay, so which are the buildings? There are two important buildings, the Diwani Arm and the Diwani Khas. Now the Diwani Arm was the hall, it is the royal hall where the emperor used to meet the general public of the kingdom from the Diwani Arm. Okay, so Diwani Arm was the royal hall where the emperor used to meet the general public. Now on the left hand side of the video, there you can see a picture. That image is of the royal throne called the Peacock Throne. Now this Peacock Throne was the throne on which the emperor used to sit, and he used to meet the people from his throne. So the Peacock Throne was kept where? It was kept in the Diwani Arm. And Diwani Arm were the royal halls where the public could meet the emperor. Okay, and any public purposes, any public occasion could be conducted from the Diwani Arm. Okay. Now Diwani Khas means special, correct? So these halls were used by the emperor for private meetings, for private purposes. Alright, so for all private purposes or for private occasions, the Diwani Khas was the place where the hall where the emperor used to have their meetings. Alright. Now apart from the Diwani Arm and the Diwani Khas is the Rang Mahal. Now Rang Mahal was the palace for the queens, and you could see the river Yamuna from there. So that is why the screen says it overlooks the river Yamuna. That means that the queens, it was a very beautiful palace, and the queens of the emperor used to stay in the Rang Mahal, and you could see the river Yamuna. So it overlooks the river Yamuna. Now apart from this, there were a few other buildings or palaces. So what were these other important structures within the Red Fort? Let's revise it quickly. So one is the Moti Mahal, which was the mosque within the Red Fort, and then there is the Nakar Khana, which was the entrance gate to the Red Fort. So which are the building? Rang Mahal is the palace for the queens, Moti Mahal the mosque, Nakar Khana the entrance gate. Apart from this, there were a few other structures. So the one on the top left is the picture of Meena Bazaar, which is a very famous market and is within the fort, within the Red Fort. Okay, so you must have all heard of the Meena Bazaar, which is still functioning. You can still go to the Meena Bazaar. You will still find the marketplace there. Okay, it is there from the times of Shah Jahan, and it is the very famous market within the fort. Apart from this, you must have heard of Chandni Chowk and Jama Masjid. So Chandni Chowk and Jama Masjid are two structures which are just opposite the Red Fort. Okay, so there's this long answer which you have to study, correct? So, and this video just covers that one complete answer. So if there's any question that is within this slides which I have discussed, you should be able to answer. Okay, so which are the other structures which are there within the Red Fort? We can have Diwani Arm, Diwani Khas, the Rang Mahal, then you have the Moti Mahal and the Nakar Khana. Apart from that, the other structures of importance in the Red Fort are the Chandni Chowk, and what is there opposite the Red Fort? You have Chandni Chowk and the Jama Masjid. Okay, so these are important structures which you need to remember about the Red Fort. You also need to remember that the Red Fort is known as the Red Fort because it is made of red stone, and that is why it looks red, and that is why the name of the fort is Red Fort. Okay, so why is the Red Fort red? It is red because why is the name Red Fort? The name is because the Red Fort is made of red sandstone. Alright. So this is where I'm going to stop. It's a very easy video. This will help you learn that answer related to the Red Fort. Who built Red Fort? Shah Jahan. Which century? 17th century. Why did he build it? He built it when he established his capital city Shah Jahanabad, which is now known as Delhi. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. Have a nice day.